It is from this highland region of Kysii.
A conscious Jubilee leadership once again visited the opposition strongholds of Kysii and Bungoma counties.
In Kysii town, three women walk side by side.
I'm the law around here.
All that boy got to do is just play the damn thing, and it's gonna be undeniable, man. Undeniable, baby.
I'm knocking somebody the fuck out. You understand what I'm saying?
You reached Kicking It with Kysii show.
Kicking It with Kysii show.
This is a podcast.
Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/Kysii. That's Kyssii. Over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player.
What's good? How's everybody doing? You have made it to another episode of the Kicking It with Kysii show. Oh yeah, man, we got a good one here for you too. So we got a room full of chatters up in here, and I got my man straight from the A. You can recognize this cat here. We're gonna get into it, and I ain't gonna give it away yet. But you can recognize this cat, and I'll tell you why in about 2 minutes. But we got my man Andre, aka Dres, the Beatnik. What's good, brother? How you doing today?
Man, I am doing great, brother. How are you?
Oh, man, I am awesome on this side, man. Everything is well, and I'll say this, man. Highly blessed, man. I'll say that. That's a good word for the day.
Man, hey, that's the word of the day, brother. That's the word of forever. Highly blessed and favored.
That's right. That's right, brother. That is right. So, man, what you up to right now, man? You sound like you said you was busy. You out there doing a little yard work, as you said.
I mean, you know, I'm trying to be a civilian. You know how it go. I don't get too many opportunities to do it. So when the opportunity shows up, I'm taking full advantage.
Most definitely. Yeah, man. Hey, so
yes, sir.
Let me ask you this, brother. We're going to jump right into it. I want to first give a shout out to all of my people in here. I got the X Squad affiliates in here. That's a group of podcasters that I'm affiliated with, man. I started a little group called the X Squad affiliates. We got about 15 podcasters and about 15 non-podcasters as supporters and followers. So
okay,
we got a room full of folks in here, man. Yeah, man. Everybody's in.
Tuning in, man. That's definitely a blessing.
Yeah, we did our podcast when I first started out. I remember, you know what I mean. It was a little interactive, but it wasn't the same. I think I might have pre-recorded and put it on. So right now, I said we're going live with it, man. That's what you deserve, man. You deserve live and off the dome. That's like freestyling. This podcast is like freestyling, brother.
All right.
And I know you know about that.
Yes, sir. All the time.
Yes, sir. All right, so. Let me ask you this. We're going to chop it. We got a whole bunch of them stuff we're going to talk about. Number one, let's see. We're going to start right off. The Tupac movie is dropping this weekend. I was just reading. It was a debate on a Facebook page, man. Folks was trying to. They were trying to discuss whether he deserves the accolades of being a revolutionary / warrior, and why should he be honored? That's what a lot of folks was actually, going back and forth on. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Okay.
That's deep, right?
Well, I mean, yeah and no. I mean, if you've been paying attention, it's sort of a no-brainer. But if you haven't, then I can understand on some level. I mean, you know, there's in my opinion, I've always been under the firm belief that there are there are two Tupac Shakurs. There's the How Do You Want It Tupac, and then there's the, you know what I'm saying, Holla If You Hear Me Tupac. You know what I'm saying? Like there's, you know, or the Keep Your Head Up Tupac. You know what I'm saying? Like it's always been a yin and yang thing with regards to Tupac, in my opinion.
That's true.
And then there's also a third factor that comes into play as well, which, you know, there's who you are on record, and then there's who you are when you know, when it's time for you to be amongst the people. You know what I'm saying? Like the spitting in the cameras, you know, getting out of jail, Tupac. That's sensationalism, Tupac.
That's true.
But take the interview with what was her name on MTV News? Sabrina Soren. I think that's what her name was. You know, where he's pretty much just laying it down, like, you know, what it's about, who he's about. Like community activist Tupac is completely different from on stage persona Tupac. And there was a point where the two were actually destined to meet, but unfortunately, you know what I'm saying, he got taken from us. So,
that's true.
You know, I think Tupac is very deserving of the accolades that he's getting. You know, I mean, anybody that's among the 27 club.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, and it's a very researchable thing for those that are listening and that are in the chat room. Like, you can research the 27 club, like artists that have left us at the age of 27 throughout the history of music. And there's some pretty great names in that list, and Tupac is one of those names. I mean, like, you know, Tupac was for us, you know what I'm saying? He was for us as black folks, but the message in the music, you know, I feel like it did transcend just us. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he was that reporter that we all needed at a time where reporters were far and few between.
Yeah.
So, you know, and he got it honest. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, oh, he just decided one day. Like, no, he got it honest. He was born in it. So, you know, you can't fault the man for who he is. As Kendrick Lamar said, in his DNA.
Yeah, you're right about that, man. I mean, he was born into his destiny, man. You know what I'm saying? He made his mark and then was out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know, the thing is, he left for as many answers as he left just as many questions, and it's on us as a people, you know what I'm saying, to interpret those questions into answers that will embolden us overall.
Right.
You know, I mean, we're at a point now where Tupac is being studied in college, bro.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's just that transformative. You know, I mean, I get it. And I get in these type of debates a lot, or conversations a lot. It's like, yeah, I mean, you know, while I won't necessarily call Tupac a prophet or anything like that, you know, I mean, he, you know, it's only been so many times you can rap about, you know, you getting taken out, you know what I'm saying, before it actually happens. I mean, even a broke clock is right twice a day, you know what I mean? But,
right.
You know,
that's true.
In order to understand Pac, you got to do a lot more digging and a lot of
layers to him. That's the word, layers.
Of course.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's layers in its history, and you got to do a whole lot of digging to get to it. You know, like you know, it's, I don't know. I always feel like, you know, there's two sides of the man, which is no different than anybody else, but, you know, with him in particular, because he's always a topic of conversation and a topic of study, you know what I'm saying, you have to do your due diligence and do some digging.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, man. That makes a whole lot of sense. You think the movie's gonna do well this weekend?
I think it will. I think it will, because we're in a completely different space age and time than we were when Notorious was released. I think the casting agency did a great job putting Mr. Ship, you know what I mean, in that position to play the lead of Tupac. You know, while he's not an actor, you know what I'm saying, like,
right.
He's young enough, he's young enough, he's smart enough, he's cultured enough to be able to pull it off. And I hope rather convincingly. You know, that's my only hope, wish, and prayer, is that he pulls it off convincingly. Like, I know plenty of people that look like Tupac, but everybody can't be Tupac or portray Tupac.
Right. So
that's the mystery that remains to be seen. I don't just deal with the fluff and the hype. Like, I want to see it. I know I'm getting my ticket.
Yeah, most definitely. You know what I mean? I can't wait, man. It's like the anticipation of it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm put it like this. I'm just as intrigued to watch it as I was watching Notorious.
Right. Because you know what? And the whole thing is, even though we know the story, it's like you still want to see it. You know what I'm saying? Even though you know the story, you know the ending, you know it's tragic, but.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know the beginning, you know the end, but at the same time, you know, we don't know all the nuances.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know everything, and that's fine. That's what I hope this movie achieves. That's what I hope Benny Boom and the rest of that, you know, team behind this movie, you know, focuses on. Like, you know, other than that, you might have just put a Tupac concert on film. Like, but nah, I'm really hoping that it gets a little bit more layered. Like, why did he make the decisions that he made in his life?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's some things that can be pieced together through interviews with him, you know, back in the day, like the Yo MTV Raps interview and the Vibe magazine interview and, you know, the MTV News interview and interviews on Rap City and things like that. And, you know what I mean? There's some things you can piece together. There's people that have attempted to write books and make documentaries on the man, like Tupac Resurrection, and, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, there's plenty of resource material out here.
Yeah.
But unless the people that are behind the script in the film have taken the extra step to go and actually speak with the people that the man interacted with in his short life, you know what I'm saying? The bright life.
Yeah.
We won't really know everything.
That's true.
You know, and then with his mom passing, you know what I'm saying? Like, how much oversight is there, if any? You know what I mean? Like, we understand, like, I understand it's a business.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And, you know, and this movie is part of the business. The creation of this movie is part of that business.
That's true.
I get it. But how much are we going to know? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm going to the movie theaters, like, you know, with eyes wide open, because I want to see it all. Like, I'm trying to walk in like I have never heard of Tupac or Amaru Shakur ever in my life.
That's the way to look at it. What you come away with. That's correct. Mm-hmm. That is correct.
Yeah, because, like, if I go in there, like, I'm the biggest Pac fan on the planet. Like, if I walk into it like that, I'm going to be fucked up out here.
Exactly.
It's going to be something that's not going to please me. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's exactly. That makes sense, man. And I'm trying to figure out if I did that same thing with the NWA. I probably did come in there with the NWA movie and the Big movie. Same type of way. I
didn't. Like I said, like, I try to, when it comes to biopics, man, I like to walk in as a blank slate. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a fan, but, like, I don't want to walk into a movie as a fan. I want to walk into it like I've been under a
ain't never heard of, right?
Yeah, I ain't never heard of this dude ever in life. I don't know what this dude is about. You know, teach me something, in other words.
Right. That makes sense.
You know?
That makes sense.
So, you know, we'll see.
That's right. All right, another question for you now. Now, you're iconic, and what I mean by that is, it's like your logo, the icon, the avatar, the whole thing, the whole company itself. It all started. Like, me and you started probably around the same time back in the day. 4 Kings Entertainment, whole team was doing it way back. We go back, and for as far as I remember, you like LL Cool J, man. I don't know if I ever seen your head before. You've been rocking these koofies, man.